I call Parmjeet Parmar.
Madam Speaker, I'm concerned. I'm concerned because the University of Auckland, our most prominent higher education institute, has decided to introduce a compulsory Maori course for all undergraduate students from this year. This is irrespective of the subject that students want to study. They will have to do this compulsory Maori course. All undergraduate students will have to do this from this year. And I know that this is not going to serve the best interest of all students. And what it shows that university has just imposed its ideology, rather giving thorough consideration to what is in the best interest of students. Education actually should be rooted in evidence, in practicality, not political ideology. Political ideology that was started under the previous Labour government. And what is surprising and shocking, actually, I should say, is that it extended to even classifying some Maori traditional myths, Maori traditional beliefs as science. And those things were funded as scientific projects. And I must say this, Madam Speaker, that I come from a culture where we have lots of cultural beliefs. But we shouldn't blur the line between cultural and traditional beliefs and science. It's insulting to science. We must make sure that science is based on evidence. And I give an example. One of the projects that was funded under the previous Labour government that was based on the concept that sperm whales and kauri trees are brothers. And if sperm whales' music or noise is played to kauri trees with kauri dieback or trees with myrtle rust, then it will help diminish those diseases. There is no evidence of this, and how can this be funded as a scientific project? This ideological framework is dangerous, and ACT Party is here to break this ideological framework. And I realize, Madam Speaker, that we are a nation that is built on a bicultural foundation, but the reality is this, that we are a multicultural nation. So any notion that gives prominence to one race over another race should be rejected. Any conversation that is rooted in race should not be allowed to dictate how funding is allocated, how our policies are designed. Why? Because it leads to a form of racism. It leads to a form of racism. And as an immigrant, I have this responsibility to speak against such notions which give prominence to one race over another race. And I know, Madam Speaker, that some individuals are questioning who am I to talk about anything that relates to Maori issues. And they're questioning this because I'm an immigrant. Let me say this to these individuals. Let me say this to these individuals that yes, my accent is different. I look different. I was born overseas, but I am as much as a Kiwi, like these members, like those individuals, those who are questioning me talking about anything that relates to Maori issues. And I'm standing here and saying all this on behalf of all those immigrants, those who are told to go back where they have come from when they talk about these issues. And I'm standing here and saying all this on behalf of all those New Zealanders, those who are sick of these conversations that lead to giving one race prominence over another race. And I'm saying this on behalf of all those New Zealanders, those who want to see that every dream is given a chance to flourish, irrespective of the race of the person whose dream it is. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I call on the Honourable Nicola Willis.
We, Mr. Speaker, are the party that says yes to economic growth as the only solution to the economic challenges that we face. Because, Mr. Speaker, we had a government that was so obsessed with wiping every tear from every eye that they had a consultant gravy train running. They were funding projects, Mr. Speaker, to play whale music to trees. They were funding projects, Mr. Speaker, to play whale music to trees. We had a culture where they said no. No to investment. No to consents for new development. No to mining. No even, Mr. Speaker, to petrol, cars and utes. Those people there sitting under the no lobby, what did they say to growth enhancing developments? They said, oh, no. We can dream up a lot of reasons to say no to that. They take such pride in saying no that actually that's what Chris Hipkins gets up each day to do. How can I say no today? Such that he actually confuses himself and his own spokespeople. If we let red tape win, the economy suffers. And our government is on the side of saying, get rid of the red tape that's in the way, cut through the bureaucracy, say yes to development. Tell you what else we need to do? Get over this idea that members of the opposition seem to have, that we'll get rich by selling to ourselves. Well, that won't ever work. We need to be exporting to the world. That means trading with the world. That means inviting in those who want to invest in New Zealand jobs and New Zealand incomes and New Zealand infrastructure. And it means, Mr. Speaker, not doing what Chloe Swarbrick did this morning at the Finance and Expenditure Select Committee, which she questioned whether growth really was what would help people who are suffering from equality. So I'll tell you one of the best things we can do to get kids out of poverty, Green Party, that is actually have an economy that can sustain better paying jobs for the parents of all children born in this country so that they can earn their way and get ahead. Because actually they don't want your patronising idea that the way they get ahead is with a handout from you and your mates and a press release from the Labour Party. What New Zealanders want is to earn a decent living through their own efforts. And they ask for a government that says, look, don't just invest in science and innovation and technology that makes academics feel good sitting around and having chats about kauri trees and whale music.
Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Here we go. To use a metaphor, that's the Labour Party metaphor, a massive economic tanker was on autopilot, heading for disaster unless we did something about it. And the present government got hold of the wheel with the expectation of turning away from its wayward course. That's the circumstances we inherited. Beg your pardon? I don't have any what? Actually, I've got to wonder where these people get their training. They come here, and I'm talking about a ship being out of control and an autopilot, no one knowing what on earth's going on in terms of a metaphor for our economy, and she wants to know if I've got any ships. New Zealand first understands with great clarity the struggles of workers in this country. And I'll make one very certain judgment for you right here. There's nobody in the labouring working force out there that supports labour anymore. Let me tell you, there's so many workers out there, real workers, 2 or 3 jobs, and they've abandoned the labour a long time ago. Now look, in a moment of great honesty, almost probably by mistake, Chris Hipkins said at the Labour Party caucus retreat this, quotes, some of the commitments that we made, and I've mentioned some of them, things like Kiwi Build, Auckland Light Rail, and so on, we hadn't worked through the exact details of how that would be, and therefore we weren't able to deliver on the commitments that we've made, end of quotes. What an admission. You had all these policies and had no idea how it was constructed, how it would work out, and in a moment of great clarity and a great honesty, he said that at the Labour Party caucus retreat, and retreat is the right word for it, with a capital R, and he made the submission. This is grinding incompetence, and they are not going to get away with it. Those are the realities. Oh, and here's the one. The 4 million playing whale music to save kauri trees. Now look, when I heard that, I thought, hang on, there's so much, as some president said, fake news these days, that it can't possibly be true. Over 4 million to play whale sounds and music to save kauri trees from kauri dieback. Now, around about then, I think they might have gone to the sociological class of Auckland University and heard all about tikanga and how it can change the whole world. Or this is a Te Pāti Māori idea. That's how unrealistic it sounded to me. But that's what they did. And, oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. We know you live in dream time, sunshine. We're talking about the real world. Can I just say that the government parties, the 3 here today, are in a fight to the top. We have disagreements, but we're in a fight to the top to turn our economy around and to turn our nation's future around. The opposition, of course, are the very converse. You've got the Greens and Te Pāti Māori in a plunge to the bottom. And lately, have you ever heard them speak about economic policy? No. about export policy, about added value, about personal responsibility, about parental responsibility. Their version of democracy is collective, pinko demagoguery. I have never thought I'd see here and listen in Parliament to a modern version of Das Kapital from the leader of the Green Party. Unbelievable. And she went on to say this, though. This is how foolish she is. She went on to say that we're going to colonise capitalism. In that brief moment, she just confessed that capitalism was good, so it should be colonised. But here's the sad thing for Labor, and I know Labor know that. I know enough people in the Labor Party from way back. The Labor Party, at its core, know that these parties over there, Parmjeet and the Greens, are dragging them down with them. They can't see a way coming back unless they can get rid of these two parties, these new parties who've got no respect for democracy, who think somehow that they're special and have got no respect for anybody else in this Parliament, or dare I say it, the voter. The Workers' Party is now the wokesters party, and Labor's in difficulty with respect to that. You know, Chloe came here today, she read her whole speech. She talked about, as I say, capitalism being colonised, and how confusing is that? And then she didn't mind, but she wanted it to happen. She said that emissions payments of up to $32 billion of emissions payments should be taken out of our economy and paid to another economy. How unbelievably fatal would that be? That's what they said today. Yeah, I know he's sitting over there, just arrived 5 minutes ago as well, thinks he knows about this country, he wouldn't know what day it is. But here's the point. And then she did us the greatest insult. She started talking about a country that was not licensed for her to talk about. No permission, no democracy, no mandate, no referendum, no plebiscite, no nothing. She starts talking about Aotearoa, this French Polynesian name. Yes, it is true, sunshine. You just arrived 5 minutes ago, some of us have been here 1,000 years, and we're not taking your dictatorship. You got that clear? You got that clear? You're not going to win the next campaign doing that. This country is called New Zealand, and the mass majority of New Zealanders want it that way. And the mass majority of New Zealanders want equality, where everybody's treated the same. Doesn't matter what the religion is, doesn't matter what the sex is, doesn't matter what the race is. We're about equality. I know they're laughing. The Greens are laughing at that because they find that comical. They find that comical. The very people who are here on the very refuge that we give to them have come here with their ideas foreign to our country, native to theirs, and they wish to impose them upon our Parliament. No, you don't. You're not going to succeed here. You might be laughing now, but you'll be crying tomorrow. Come to this country, show some gratitude? No. Let me tell you what our policy is, sunshine. When you arrive in New Zealand...
Yeah, Mr. Peters, less of the sunshine, more of the first names. As someone who respects the tikanga of the House, let's stick to that part of it.
Well, with the greatest respect, I didn't call him sunshine. Sunshine's everybody. You know, if you can't take it, Mr. Speaker, let's go and have some lessons on how to do the job.
You've had a lot of latitude. Please accept that you've had that latitude and respect some tikanga in the House. Use proper names.
We don't have tikanga in this House. Get that straight.
The procedures of the House, the order of the House.
All right then. Not having that ran down my throat. Can I just say that when people come to this country, the least we can expect is that they obey our laws as they are for the time being. They respect our flag as it is for the time being. That they respect other people's right to believe in other religions, as that is the law for the time being. And they believe in equality, whether it's gender or whether it's race. That's the least we can expect. So if some of these people from the Green Party and Te Parmjeet think we're going to expect something else, then let me tell you the enormous confidence we've got. Because out there in the real Maori world, where people are working 2 or 3 jobs a week and slaving it out and saving, they're losing ground big time. They don't have any time for those sorts of people who don't understand what it is to be a worker, to sweat it out and have pride in the job that they've got. And that's what New Zealand First stands for. This government also believes that they are a priority going forward on our planning. Not this kind of elitism which saw so much going to so many who are at the very top of our society, who saw 14,000 bureaucrats taken on that we didn't need.